Okay, I want to teach you something new with Excel in this video. Specifically, what I'm going to teach you about is the concept of absolute cell values. But what I would like you to do, if you are watching this video and working on Excel at the same time, go ahead and copy this data down right here so that you can kind of play with it. All right. Now, it says compute trend percents for the following accounts using 2013 as the base year. Round percents to the whole number. Okay, first of all, I don't like the way that these titles look. So I want to go ahead and show you something here. First of all, let's say I did not have those base years in there yet. Some students have said, okay, I enter 2017 and I pull it over, but it doesn't that's not what I want. So what am I doing wrong, Dave? I said, well, first of all, what you need to do is you need to, at least before you start pulling over anything like that, you need to tell Excel what you're trying to do. Now we have two data points here. So Excel is pretty smart, but now it knows, okay, they don't want just 2017 in there. They want the years declining by 1 year across these 5 columns of data. Okay, I'll show you how I do it. Now, before I even pull that over though, I'm going to go ahead and format these the way I want them. I'm going to bold these, I'm going to center these, I'm going to underline those. Now I'm going to highlight both of those. Whenever you pull something over, you got to go to the bottom right of the little square and wait till that white cross turns to a little black cross like that. Pull it over and you can see that it did what we wanted it to do. Okay, so now what I want you to do, this is this little exercise that they're asking us to do is in regards to financial statement analysis, specifically horizontal analysis. Okay, so we're going to compute the trend percents for the following accounts using 2013 as the base year. So this is the base year they want. Oh, let's make that a little. There we go, base year. So what I want you to do is highlight this data right here, then go in that box, do a right click on your mouse, copy, go down here and push paste. So now that you have that right there. By the way, do not get in the habit of, I'm going to show you what some students do and I don't like it, and I'll tell you why. They'll leave blank lines in between their data. That is a real pain in the rear when you're trying to pull formulas down or something. So don't do that. If it's not necessary, don't leave blank lines between your data. You can leave a blank line here because this is going to be a new set of data. But what we're going to do down here is we are going to figure out these trend percents. Well, the way that you do that is you say plus the value right there divided by the base year or the base value for sales in this case. Now when I push that, it's 1. I don't want these to be dollars, I want these to be percents. So let me highlight that data and then push percent. Okay, that's what we want, 100%. Now I want to figure up what 234 divided by the base year is. And that's 156%, okay, this is doing what we want to do, the horizontal analysis. Now if I pull that over, folks, it is going to give me improper data. Okay, now let me look what's in that cell. Okay, and you can do this by going to the cell and pushing F2. That is F4 divided by G4. That is correct. But when we pulled it over to this one, it's now saying E4 divided by F4. And this is saying D4 divided by E4. So it's changing that value, thinking that we want to change it, when in fact we want to be dividing each of these numbers by the base year of 2013. So I'm going to show how we do this instead. And this is using what we call an absolute value. Now, let me go over to that cell where we have the formula and push F2. This is G4 divided by G4. Now I want that denominator to stay the same as G4. So I am going to put dollar signs in front of the G and in front of the 4. And this is making that denominator an absolute value, so that when I drag that cell over to the left, the G4 in the numerator will change, but not the G4 with the dollar signs in front of it. I'll show you. I will drag that over, and this gives us the proper answers. Okay, and you can push an F2 in each one and see that it is dividing each one by G4. Okay, now I went ahead and put the, let me go ahead and show you a better way though. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to want to do trend percentages for each one of these. So I'm going to go to this, I'm going to push F4. Now notice that we can put the dollar sign in front of the column of G and the row of 4 if we would like to. But I know that we're going to be working within the same row. So I just want to make sure we keep the column absolute. So I'm going to take away the dollar sign in front of the row of 4. Okay, it's going to give me the same number. And now I'm going to drag that over, and it's going to give me the same data that we had before. But now the beautiful thing is, for this data down here, since I didn't absolute value the row, but only the column, once I highlight those 5, I can go to this, wait till that turns into a little black cross, pull it down with a left click, and now I've got the data for everything. You can do an F2 on here. You can see that's F5 divided by G5. You can see this is F6 divided by G6. Now that wouldn't have worked if I would have had a dollar absolute sign on the row as well. But I only wanted it to be an absolute value for this column of G. Now if we wanted, we could interpret this data. That's not really the purpose of this video, but we can see that cost of goods sold is increasing at a faster rate than sales, as is accounts receivable. That's concerning. If your cost of goods sold is growing at a quicker rate than sales, then you have gross profit or gross margin erosion, because cost of goods sold is growing at a faster rate than sales. And of course, gross profit or gross margin is sales less cost of goods sold. And your receivables are growing quicker than sales. Now, this is an example of financial statement analysis where we take raw data. Well, we can see all those things are increasing, but not until we did this horizontal analysis can we see that these items are growing quicker than sales, and that's concerning. Okay, but that's not really the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to teach about absolute values and how putting that dollar sign in front of the column and or the row locks in on those values. And there are times that you need to use this, and we will learn about those in the future.